Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run. Hope you're all doing well. We are of course taking a random character, random weapon, trying to beat Danger 5 with it. I'm just going to jump right into it, so let's get going. Let's see what we roll. Alright, we got the crazy. So I'm pretty sure I did scissors in my build with the crazy. For my crazy guide, so we're going to go with anything else, or did I do Thief Dagger? I might have done Thief Dagger, but I think I'm going to go with anything that is not those two. If anyone happens to remember what weapon I actually used for my crazy build guide, that was a long time ago, so I don't off the top of my head remember. But I'm going to be pretty happy picking anything else here, and this should be a nice fun one. Let's see what we get. Alright, well, scissors I'm going to reroll, because I'm pretty sure that's what we did in that guide. Shuriken, sure, I'll take this. So we get 25% attack speed, but lower dodge, and we start with a knife, which we're going to have to get rid of immediately in order to roll more shurikens. The 100 range mostly doesn't matter with shurikens. It helps a little, but it's not incredible. But the main issue with shurikens is the 25% damage scaling. We get a little bit of extra leeway because we have extra attack speed, but we're going to have to mitigate that as soon as we can in order to win with the crazy. Let's get into it and see how this goes. Love getting these extra kills right away. Because we actually start with 2 precise weapons, our crit chance is pretty good. So we're getting a decent amount of kills. We're going to have trouble picking up all the materials. As always with these bouncing shot weapons, you have trouble picking up materials. I'm going to roll this. I could just take 5% damage, because percent damage is good, and we really want to make sure our shuriken clear the waves. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to do that. Rather than worry about any of the economy items, I'm just going to focus on getting my shuriken to clear the wave as quickly as possible. I wouldn't mind lifesteal, but I think I'm going to keep rolling for more shurikens, and I will take any of the premium economy items that we want, but for now we just want to grab this stuff. I don't mind some nice max HP items, so I will take both of these. Those are very efficient. I'm just going to lock them and then roll for more shuriken. I'm going to leave... I left the knife in my inventory, because precise isn't an enormous weapon category, so we're fairly likely to roll shuriken if we are rolling for precise weapons, and this increases our crit chance, which will increase our clear speed. Shuriken being very cheap is really nice for us as well, because it gives us the ability to pick 4 of them in the opening shop. This is ahead of the curve for where most characters will be. The main issue with shuriken is just trying to get them to actually one-shot the enemies, especially before you get 100% crit chance with them. So we just need to do that. Alright, I'm going to take the sharp bullet. Piercing with bouncing is really fun, so let's pick this up. It does decrease our damage and our piercing damage, but it's still really good with bouncing weapons. And sharp bullet, if only we'd found one in our last character build, which I suffered quite a bit from not having pierce in that one. I'm going to take 5% crit chance. That's pretty nice. So we just need, with shuriken, they have a base of, what's that, 35%? Yeah, 35 plus 17 is 52. So we don't need to boost them that much to get them to 100%. I'll take another shuriken, and now I will sell the knife to try to roll more shurikens. Rolled the other 2 precise weapons, but there we go. And I'll roll again to see if we can lock one. Perfect. Alright, well this build could not be going better so far. We've got 6 weapons on wave 3, which is very far ahead of curve. Shuriken's also just an extremely satisfying weapon to use. It will be funny if I just realized that I went with shuriken for my build guide, though, which is very possible. Here I'm just going to take damage. I think we're going to ignore harvesting in this version of the character. I'm going to reroll this, looking for more percent damage or more flat melee damage. I'm just going to take percent damage. And the reason I'm ignoring harvesting is because Shuriken really need the help to clear the waves, but as long as they have the damage, they're going to clear the wave really effectively. So you can avoid taking things like harvesting on Shuriken, because they will give you the money just by clearing the wave really fast. Sitting at 1 HP with no healing, of course, is risky, but hopefully we drop some consumables early enough that we can get ourselves out of the one-shot zone. But notice just because we've increased our damage a little bit, we're just clearing the wave super quickly. Any lifesteal I get will be extremely effective as well, especially because we have, you know, bouncing and piercing shots. Here I am going to just take more crit chance, I think. We're just working on all damage all the time rules. I will take another Weird Ghost. We'll sit at 1 HP again. Just increasing our health will help a lot so that we don't just get popped immediately. This will give us a little bit of extra healing, and we're never obviously going to build our dodge up. I'm going to take the Shuriken, I think, here. I guess, yeah, that will probably increase my... So they have 63% chance crit right now. That will probably increase my economy more than getting the Dangerous Bunny this wave would. Although it also gives me an additional 8. I think actually getting the bunny in this shop is better because it gives me an additional 8 from a reroll. And then I'm going to roll. Lock in this insanity. I'm going to take the wheelbarrow, even though I said we weren't going to build harvesting. Wheelbarrow this early is too good to pass up. And now if I see a 5-point harvesting in the level up, I'll take it, because that'll get us to our 21 points. As always, whenever I pick... Every single time this happens to me, I pick Weird Ghost, go into the wave, and go, hey, where's my health? Oh no! Oh no! One hidden downside to playing Shuriken is they will start making a lot of noise as we play this game. And recycle Alien Worm here, and we'll just take percent damage. Do I just want melee damage? I think the level 2% damage is better. Attack speed is great, although 5 harvesting would get us to 21. I think I'll still take the attack speed. Take the wheelbarrow. Interesting we're being offered so many Weird Ghosts. And I can afford to buy this whole shop, so I'm just going to do it. Reroll, lock this, and our max HP is pretty good, actually, so we'll buy the injection, throw a reroll in. Great. This is the first wave where Weird Ghost is somewhat risky. You can definitely take damage this wave if you are behind the damage curve, or if you're just not careful. Most of the early waves, you should be able to avoid taking damage pretty easily, but this wave is definitely possible. Now that I've gotten a few consumable drops, I'm happier, though. As always, of course, any rapid-firing weapon like this one, the floaters are a challenge, because they shoot projectiles when you shoot projectiles at them. Oh, no! Come back! Come back! Ah, I didn't see that guy till the end. I don't know if he was there beforehand. Alright, so I do want 9% speed. I also want flat melee damage, and we have none. I think I'm going to take the damage over the speed here. This seems a little weird because it's a level 2 over a level 3, and we only get 1 point of damage, because Shuriken only scale at 25% of your melee damage. But, well, I guess they scale at 33% on level 2, but we need to start building this up because we need the damage output of these to be higher. Level up my Shuriken, of course. They do level very well as well. I'm going to buy a community support here for bonus attack speed. The community support will be less powerful on this character than on many characters because we're going to clear the whole screen, but it's still, I think, worth having. Do I want Hedgehog here for just 2 melee damage? I think that is maybe too expensive. No, I'm going to buy it. Any damage we get will just help us clear the screen so much faster. So I think for community support, we're typically going to be looking at like plus 15 or 20 attack speed. I guess it can't be 15, but you know what I mean. Somewhere in that range in the early game, but it should start really paying off in the later game. Of course, it's almost impossible to let the eggs spawn when you have the bouncing weapons on this level, because they'll just bounce to the eggs and kill them before they can hatch. But our damage output is good enough because of how good shurikens are that we're able to clear through the slashers pretty quickly. Yeah, I'll take this. We do lose a melee damage, but we get our harvesting up over 21, and then I'm just going to take melee damage here. Obviously, more harvesting would be good, or re-rolling for a higher level up, but just keeping our damage on pace is really important to me. Now that we have some lifesteal, we will also be a little less in danger of dying, and great, mastery is exactly what we want. So we're doing 12 damage on these attacks, but we upgrade that to 15 damage when we buy the mastery, because of our percent damage and the flat melee damage. And then, of course, every time it crits, which it does 69% of the time, we do a bunch of extra damage. I'm going to lock this weird food and go to the next wave. Even though we've bought a lot of weird ghosts, I now do need to start buying some maximum HP. We also currently have highly negative armor, so I need to address that soon. But Crazy is going to play as something of a glass cannon always, so that's fine. Just clearing the entire screen with our bouncing shots. And you can see we're making pretty good money every wave, even leaving a bunch of materials on the ground, just because we're clearing the wave so quickly. Yeah, I'll take Gentle Alien. That's just more stuff to bounce to. And then here, oh, this is a tough one. I want the crit chance, but I really just need to take 3 armor, I think. Being at negative 3 armor is so painful. So I'm going to do that. And then here I'll just take 6 max HP. Improved Tools is attack speed, which I do want, but it's very expensive attack speed. I think it might be worth taking anyways. It's 10% for 130. No, we can... I think I'm going to pass on that. That's just so expensive. I mean, we immediately get rewarded when I see 10% for 35. So you can see why I often pass on Improved Tools. That's a question I get a lot, is why did you pass Improved Tools? And it's just because it's so expensive. I will take more Mastery. Also worth noting that Mastery is good with Shuriken because they scale with melee damage, not ranged damage, even though they're ranged weapons. That's something that comes up sometimes. And I'll take a little bit of bonus speed to make sure that we are not dying. Let me pick up this Shuriken, buy this luck, and then do I want the charcoal? Yeah, I think I'm still going to buy charcoal. Again, it's an expensive way to buy flat damage, but we really just want to be making sure the wave is getting cleared very quickly. This should be a great wave for us. We have Bounce and Pierce. So we should really just be sweeping these enemies off the field. And we're pretty much clearing them as fast as they can spawn, at least up until the chargers start spawning. Once the chargers start spawning, it's going to take a little longer because they'll absorb multiple hits. Although they too are really just dying immediately. The Pierce is only for 5, because we do get minus 70% on the piercing damage, but it still adds up very quickly. And just look at all those crits. Obviously, the thing we need most of all is a hunting trophy. Here I'm going to take 2% lifesteal. I don't need to get to more than like 10%, but 10% would be really good. And wave 9, 12 harvesting, I think I'm going to just take the damage, actually. Harvesting has served us well. We've gotten a couple levels out of it, but I'm not going to invest more into it. I really just want to ensure our damage is keeping up. And the difficulty for shurikens is always, is your damage keeping up, because of the weak flat damage scaling on them. So just making sure that that happens is the biggest priority for me. Is it worth getting 2 armor for minus 3 HP on the leather vest? The dodge is irrelevant. I think 2 armor is still going to be good. Just starting to boost that a little bit. We'll still buy max HP as we see it. Gonna happily buy another shuriken. So this one scales 42%. And alien tongue actually is pretty good on this character, because we are having trouble picking up materials, but I still don't think it's worth spending on. I'm gonna reroll here and see if we can get something better. Alright, let's buy a Weird Ghost and bait in the same round is tough, because you can just die if you just get one shot by the lampreys. And then I don't really want bait next round, because it's going to be an elite wave, but I don't really want Weird Ghost next round either. I think I'm going to take the Weird Ghost and the charcoal and the medical turret, lock the bait, and then we might just keep this locked for 2 waves. I might also just give up on this depending on what we're buying, but I really don't want to go into either a bait wave or an elite wave with Weird Ghost, and I don't want to go into an elite wave with bait. Even though we should clear them pretty quickly, it's just a risk we don't need to take, I think, at this point in the build. So you can see, even with only 4% lifesteal, we're healing pretty quickly. Once we get that to about 10%, we should be in great shape. I will definitely take any baby geckos and stuff that are offered, but I don't think that the alien tongue would really have helped in terms of our actually picking up materials. I just don't think it would have paid for itself. But baby gecko would be nice, because it lets us pull stuff in without having to run all over the field for it. Landmines, I'm just going to take this in case we roll a fairy. I think that's the 1 regeneration in that case is worth more than the 10 from recycling it. Laser turret, I'm going to recycle, though. It does almost nothing. We have minus 10 engineering. And then here, yeah, I'll take 3% lifesteal. If we get this, like I said, to 10%, we're in great shape. Very happy to take this acid here, in the game at least. And then I'm going to roll, pick up a terrified onion. I'm just going to roll with the bait locked, I think. No, I think our stuff is good enough. I should have just bought this if I was going to do it before re-rolling, but I think our damage is good enough we can just take bait there. Definitely not going to take another one, though. But I'll take Ritual. That's great. Our lifesteal is now very high, and grab the sunglasses next round. That will boost our crit chance to 82% for the level 3 Shuriken. Alright, we're going to clear out the lampreys before I mess with the elite. Oh, I took 2 hits doing that. That's less than ideal. I'm going to go heal up, and then I'm going to go mess with the elite. What we don't want is for this elite to stay in its second stage, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. Because basically, in its second stage, it runs all over the map and it summons tentacles, which absorb a lot of our shots because of the bouncing shots. So both the increased speed of it and the fact that it's summoning these high health units to absorb our damage mean that the second stage of this elite is very hard for us. So I'm... Oh, wow, I took every hit there, but we survived. I thought it was going to die a little earlier than that, so I didn't try to position myself to dodge its circle. And then ended up just eating a bunch of hits, but we made it out of that wave very cleanly. But yeah, basically the idea is that elite has 3 stages. In its first stage, it summons those eggs, which are fine for us because the Shuriken will clear the eggs before they hatch. And so we have lots of great damage there, and that's totally fine. In its second stage, it runs really fast around the map, summoning tentacles, which have a ton of health. So they absorb the bouncing shots from our Shuriken, costing us DPS on the boss and also wave clear on everything else. And then in its third stage, it slows back down. So we want to minimize the time it spends in its second stage by doing as much damage to it as possible, as quickly as possible during that stage. I'm going to grab the Lost Duck. We lose 3% attack speed for 30% damage, and we're going to stick with Shuriken for the rest of the game. So focus is going to be a really nice, solid boost for us. There are definitely better level 4s we could have gotten, but I'll take this one. It's fine. I think I'm just going to take the attack speed here. Our flat damage is pretty high, so percent damage is what we mostly need to increase our DPS. Very happy, actually, to see Little Muscly Dude. That's going to be melee damage and max HP for us at the cost of something we don't really care about. And we had a nice free reroll here. Lock this Mastery and take our other free reroll, and then we can upgrade our Shuriken. Lock this Metal Plate as well, because sitting at 1 armor isn't exactly where we want to be. I think at this point our Hedgehog, the time for Hedgehog may have passed. It's very expensive for 2 melee damage. I mean, compare it to Mastery, right? We get 6 melee damage for only 1.5 times the price. But we do need to hit a critical mass of flat damage in general to clear the bosses, so I think I'm still just going to take it. It's a very inefficient way to buy melee damage here, but I think we got to do that. I did put myself in danger by forgetting that I had bought bait, but luckily our build has come together enough that it doesn't really matter. Having to try to hoover up these materials as we run around. Hoover's a pretty interesting word etymologically, I guess, because in Britain, it's synonymous with vacuum cleaner, much like Kleenex is synonymous with tissue in America. But in America, it's not. So it's interesting how that split happened. If you happen to be in Britain, give me a funny British word that you say, and I'll give you a funny Canadian word that we say. I'm going to pick up speed here, and then I'm going to grab Metal Plate. And actually, let me extend that invitation to everybody. Give me a funny regional word from wherever you're from in the comments down below. We'll pick up some more damage here, and let's grab some more lifesteal. Do I want Claw Tree? I think I do. We lose 1 HP, which I do need to boost my max HP, but melee damage and crit chance both help a lot. We're closing in on 100% when I will stop buying crit chance. And crit does have some diminishing returns, because we just need enough that it regularly bounces our shurikens around. But getting to 100% is nice, and it's kind of fun to be able to do that on this character. Here we are going to be able to clear this wave really fast. At this point, the build has really come together. I didn't think this would be too difficult a run, although I didn't really think that about the last one, and look how that one went. But I was pretty happy to just take a nice free win here. Obviously, I could still just run into things and die. We don't have... Our defensive stats are only okay at this point. We've got some armor and no dodge and medium HP, so we're definitely not invincible at any point, but our damage at least is keeping up very well. You can see there I took like a third of my health and damage just from one attack that I let get through. I'm going to take the percent damage here, and then very happy to keep upgrading my armor. That will help a lot with our survivability. I did say I'm going to take any baby geckos we see, and I'm going to stand by that. And then here I'm going to buy some more luck that will help with any future level ups we get. Lock this hedgehog for the same reason that we've talked about. I just really need to make sure that my damage is keeping up with the waves. Do I want another medical turret? I think one is fine. At 105, and I also forgot when I bought the first one that they only heal for 2 because of our engineering penalty. I'm just less inclined to spend that amount on them. Very sad we haven't seen a hunting trophy. We would be so rich. Walking into every attack there is not my finest play. But our lifesteal is very good at this point for a bouncing shots build anyways. And I'd like to increase that, of course, just a little bit, but we don't need to get it higher than like 15% to be able to heal up immediately. The big thing is just to make sure that my damage is continuing to scale. Alright, very happy to pick up this exoskeleton. We lose a little lifesteal, which is a negative, of course, but 5 armor means we are all the way up to our 10 armor goal. We'll probably want more armor because we aren't building dodge in this build, and usually you want dodge and armor. But this way we also get 5% crit chance, which is great, and 5% speed, which is also great. Here, if I take 7% crit chance, I think that caps the amount we need, but I'm actually just going to reroll to see if we can find any max HP. I'll take 16% damage, though. I'm not above, I'm not going to pass up on a level 4 damage upgrade. Warrior helmet, kind of exactly what we need. Our speed was already really good, and that gives us armor and HP. Take this. I'm still not going to buy alien eyes, because our health isn't that good. I'm going to reroll. I'll take the recycling machine. This will still pay for itself, I think. And then I'm going to lock this entire shop. Yep. The shop is great, and I'm taking it all, assuming we live through this elite. Alright, so the big slashy elite, this one is going to be a lot of dodging, but it doesn't run at you or anything like that, so we just have to make sure we're not standing on its slashes. And this build, because it's a ranged build, I can move away and stand still, which makes it much easier to dodge the elite's movements. So that's just a very clean, easy way to fight that kind of elite. Just get outside of its spacing and just stand still and hit it. Especially because we have bouncing shots, so we're clearing the rest of the field while we're hitting it. One of the great advantages of Shuriken and Slingshot, and why Slingshot especially, but Shuriken too, are some of the best weapons in the game. Shuriken suffers a little more from just not having enough damage to keep up sometimes than Slingshot does, which is why I give Slingshot the nod as the best weapon in the game, but Shuriken is very powerful. Alright, do I want Torture here? It means that we lose out on our lifesteal, which we've been building, but we just get max HP. I think I'm just going to take it, and then we'll recycle this. We already have one for Fairy, and we don't need Fairy anymore anyways, because we just took Torture. I'm going to just take more damage, buy out this shop, roll, lock in this Shuriken, and roll. Hunting Trophy, this will still pay for itself, I think, even only starting on wave 17, and Dangerous Bunny won't, so I'm not going to lock it. I mean, I think we'll make 200 off the Hunting Trophy in the first wave we have it. So I'm pretty convinced that it will pay for itself, though I suppose we'll see. We're a very armored Brotato right now. You can see we've got the armor plate and the helmet. here. I'm just going to take more attack speed. That's, I think, the best way to increase our DPS right now is just attack speed, and very happy to get that. Buy the hunting trophy, and we will upgrade our shurikens. Actually, the best way to increase our DPS would be to upgrade all my shurikens more, but this is fine. I'm going to take the defective steroids here, but I think I'm actually going to pass on Lucky Charm. We don't need more luck at this point, I don't think. Lumberjack shirt, I don't think I really need either at this point in the run, so I'm going to roll that, and we don't need whetstone because we have the torture, so I'll re-roll. Bandana gives us another pierce, so sure, I mean, it's going to be very little damage at that point, but I think it's also just really fun. So I'm going to lock the bandana. Just get tons of piercing. We get piercing and bouncing, that's always good. Curious, I guess this wave doesn't have a lot of low health enemies. It's mostly high health guys and the buffers. So only the summoners are giving us a lot of triggers from the hunting trophy, but I think we're still making our money back pretty quickly. Gotta kill the buffed rib cages before they chase us down. Learned my lesson last time. But this time, the damage that we have is a little different. I will take the snail, it just makes enemies a little less likely to reach us, and I'll still take propeller hat for luck when it's free. Alright, let's check this. Yeah, 103, we've already made back 2/3 of our money on the hunting trophy. I'm gonna buy this whole shop, I think. Let's buy a little muscly dude, upgrade our shuriken, buy the bandana, buy the ugly tooth, roll, lock the shuriken, roll. Great. Let's go to the next wave. Fight this elite. This one shouldn't be too bad. So how you fight this elite is you stand basically at the maximum range of your attack on it. And then as it starts, it will slowly waddle at you. You can just dodge its slashes pretty easily. And then when it starts charging you, you're going to run along the direction of its charge. Because unlike some chargers, this one just stops after a set distance. So as long as you stay outside of the maximum range of its charge, like that, you will continually DPS it down. Obviously, that doesn't work for melee characters who have a much harder time with that elite than ranged characters do, but on ranged characters, that's just a very clean, easy way to fight that elite. At this point, we're also leaving enough enemies alive that the community support is really coming into play. I think we'll make 36 off the coupon, and we can't use the med kit at all because we have torture, so we're just going to recycle it. I will take more attack speed here. That's always nice, and I'm going to upgrade to a level 4 shuriken just because I don't remember what the scaling is on it. I think it's probably right to get 2 level 3s, but I'm just curious. So level 4 shuriken has 50% scaling, so it's getting a ton of damage from our flat damage, and bounces up to 4 times on crit. We're at 94% on the level 4, so I need 5% more critical to reach 100%, if that's the goal here. I'm going to pass on this leather vest because minus 3 HP for 2 armor is not an incredible deal at this point, and we can't use the dodge. Upgrade shurikens. Roll again. Roll again. Get another level 4 shuriken, so we'll combine and get this level 4. And I'll throw in one more reroll because we're going into the last wave. Okay, great. We can upgrade some more shurikens and lock this one. And I'll also lock this armor. That's one of the best ways to keep ourselves alive going into the boss wave. Just running around killing stuff here. At this point, I don't really have to pay attention to my movement or where I'm going or anything. Not for this wave anyways. Next wave with the bosses, I'll have to pay attention, but for now I'm just kind of moving in random patterns. Or big circles. Notice how much damage the buffed tentacles receive. That's why we had to be so aggressive at leveling our damage on shurikens. Made 848. That's all because of the hunting trophy. I'm gonna recycle this because we don't need it. I'll take this when it's free. This will still give us extra effective HP. Because basically each point of armor is worth 6% of your HP in effective HP. So 2 armor is worth not quite 12 HP for us right now. So we lose 3 but gain somewhere around 10 on the leather vest. So it's still an increase in effective HP. We don't care about losing any of these other stats, but sure, 4% crit is a little bit of bonus damage. It might still be better to sell the energy bracelet, and we might get more than 4% crit worth of stuff out of 100 materials, but just to speed things along, take this percent damage and combine, buy a level 1 shuriken. I'm just going to buy this whole shop. That will be fine. Buy this cake. Roll again. Buy the mastery. Roll again. And leather vest is still some survivability, so I'm going to buy it. Because there's no guarantee we get anything useful on a reroll. Here, I guess I will take the Gummy Berserker. -1 armor for 5% attack speed is not a great deal, but I'm just going to buy it just to have spent all my money. And then we should be able to DPS down both bosses at the same time because of the bouncing shots. So I'm just going to make sure we are circling them and hitting them both. See how much damage we're dealing to them as we attack. You can see that even with our very high damage version of the build, with like bonus attack speed from being the crazy and everything, shurikens are still not great single target damage, so we do have some issues DPSing down the bosses, but because we built damage so heavily and our survivability is great, we were able to just clear them out. Alright, so that is the Shuriken Crazy. I hope that you enjoyed that video, and as always, it would help me out a ton if you like the video and leave a comment. Really appreciate when people take the time to do that, and I read and reply to every comment I get. We'll see how long I can keep that up for. As the channel has really grown, the amount of time it takes to read and reply to every comment has increased, but I'm still really enjoying doing it, so for now, that's still the plan. I guess also I have heard a few people asking about a channel Discord. I am considering doing that, so if that's something that you think you would really enjoy or wouldn't join at all, it would be helpful either way if you let me know about that. Alright, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will catch you next time. You can subscribe to my channel for more of these, of course, and have a good one. GG.